before.
I know. It's I've had. I, believe me, I've been to. I've talked. Well, I can't talk, okay, but I've talked to. I mean, I've seen people, and they have no idea that building 7 or building 6 or building 5, that they building 6 is very, 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 very. It is a cave. It's all the walls, but inside there is a cave like this. Like this, like you got the walls, the, well, some walls like not the walls. It's the see. I can't talk.
What the outside structure is
Let me-
standing in the.
Let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you. Let's see. Okay. Now, inside,
Everything's gone,
yes.
but the outside stays.
No, the eyesight is. Look, let me see. Let me finish. Let me finish. Building, build. Is that this building? Is that just
Yeah, put a G after that.
Oh, okay. Building 6.
Not having been there prior to all this happening, to see this complex, I have no idea. I thought there was just 2 towers and that was it.
Yeah, no.
But these were all buildings around this.
Yes. Okay, I hope you bring. Okay, let me see. And so, okay. Well, it's whole. The building is not good. It's a lot of it is gone.
Yeah.
A lot of it is gone. Let's say I forget how many story it is, but let's say 20 stories. Half of it is gone. Half of it is crater.
Yeah.
Crater. Half of it is crater. And how do you say it? Crater.
Yeah, internally the building,
Crater, something.
T-E-R.
What?
Okay, T, is that what you have there?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Oh.
The C-R-A-T-E-R.
T-E-E-R.
Right.
Yeah. Crater. That is weird. Then you get building 7. Building 7. Building 7. Oh. Building 7. What? They said the name is. See,
it was demolished.
yeah, it's Mumbles. No. See, I can't talk really good. I can't. Mumble. I can't say it. The thing is called
Well, it was demolished.
yeah, but what was demolished? It was a certain thing.
There was some kind of stuff they used.
Yeah, what's it called?
I don't know. I didn't catch the actual name. Something like thermite or something.
Here, write it down. Thermite. But what?
Yeah, it was some thermal. But I don't know what the last word was.
Oh well, we can do it again. Let's see.
You are about to hear from architect of 23 years, Richard Gage, AIA, member of the American Institute of... It's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before when a building was deliberately destroyed by world-class dynamite to knock it down.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
Implosion.
So what's the problem?
Implosion. That's a good word. Implosion.
Yeah. Do you want me to write that?
Yeah, sure.
Here? Yeah, it was like you would do if you wanted to bring a building down.
Yeah.
Planned demolition. Well, we are told by government agencies that this building came down as a result of normal office fires. The National Institute of...
You know, the thing is, I know not very good, I mean, but I can tell that a building on fire can last forever and ever, because
Fire can't melt steel.
Right.
Unless you're in a smelter where you purposely are doing that, melting it at thousands of degrees.
Right.
And Technology produced their final report in 2008.
World Trade Center 7 collapsed because of fires fueled by office furnishings. It did not collapse from explosives or from fuel oil fires.
Well, what do you think brought down the building?
What caught my eye is more than 1,300 architects and engineers examined the evidence about Building 7's collapse and disagree with the official report issued by the National Institute of Standards and Technology. I certainly am much more open-minded about it than I was, and it is because because of the involvement of the 9/11 families and all these engineers and architects.
You are about to hear from architect of 23 years, Richard Gage, AIA, member of the American Institute of Architects and founder of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. Now there are more than 1,500 architects and engineers who say that it could not have been brought down by office fires. They are backed by 9/11 family members who are calling for an independent, unbiased investigation.
I'm Richard Gage. Fires have never before caused the collapse of any skyscraper, even though there are numerous examples of much hotter, larger, and longer-lasting fires in these buildings. And in the case of Building 7, the fire that NIST said started the collapse had actually burned out over an hour before. It could not have caused the collapse, as NIST claims. Yet this 47-story, modern steel-framed skyscraper, which was not hit by an airplane, collapses mostly into its own footprint like a house of cards, as fast as a bowling ball falling off the side of the building in just under 7 seconds. Listen to the experts.
Building number 7 descended in free fall for the first 100 feet, which means that there was absolutely no resistance to the descent whatsoever.
NIST has admitted it went into free fall for 8 stories, and going from motionless to free fall instantly, that's a bothersome part of the puzzle because NIST never explained it.
We've got a building that came down in its own footprint, so all of the columns really needed to be severed at the same time in order for that structure to fall the way that we saw.
The symmetry is the smoking gun.
The whole building completely comes down in one continuous motion. There couldn't have been any structural resistance.
According to NIST, the failure occurred at column 79 on level 12. They're talking about a single columnar collapse or failure that resulted in a total collapse of the building.
It is possible that you could have a local failure as a result of a connection failing. But the likelihood of that failure dragging the entire building in such a fashion that all the columns would fail at the same time is an impossibility.
Impossibility?
Yes.
What I saw, it was a classic implosion. The center of the core, the penthouse area, starts to move first, and then the building follows along with it.
I'd like to know why NIST excluded the document from FEMA in Appendix C that documented the evidence of melting steel. Why is this forensic evidence not...
That's another thing. You know, the book that they've long, about 400 pages, that it never touched Building 7. Never. The 400 pages and they never touched Building 7. You understand me?
In an office fire, you cannot generate enough heat to melt steel. And yet we have evidence of molten iron. R.J. Lee Company, USGS, and Dr. Stephen Jones's work, all three separately found these microspheres.
Microspheres. Wait. Write that down. Microspheres. 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 What is that? Okay. C R O R-O, okay, R-O, okay.
Sorry,
That's good. It takes me a while, but I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. Okay. 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 This guy, he's
He's a chemist, yeah.
yeah, and he here wait, he'll tell it.
Yeah.
See, I know that it's gonna happen, but I can't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Oh man, I tried so hard.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay, here.
We found what we characterize as unreactive thermitic material in the shape of some very tiny red-gray chips, which have different properties, and in the reaction they produce molten iron, which is the prime indication of a thermitic reaction, and such a reaction can be used to destroy steel structures.
They didn't say that. Thermitic. This.
What we have found is a modern version
Okay.
of thermite, which we call nanothermite.
Nanothermite. Nanothermite. Thermite. Yeah.
I don't have enough room.
That's all right. We'll try it all. There's lots of pages.
All right, I'll just put it down here. I suppose there might be a dash in here.
Oh yeah, maybe.
There were these iron microspheres present in all of the dust samples that needed to have been formed in extremely high temperatures.
I've independently seen thermitic activity within two separate independent samples of World Trade Center dust. My contention, based on finding thermite residue in the dust, is that it happened before. It didn't happen after in the fires that ensued in the rubble pile afterwards. All the characteristics of the microspheres tell me that thermite was involved in melting those steel beams.
So thermite, if it was present at the World Trade Center and created this molten metal that so many witnesses and photographic evidence shows, would also explain the fact that the fires could not be put out at Ground Zero.
The only thing that is consistent with all of the evidence that we have that could cause such a thing is the use of thermite to cut through the steel.
You'd get down below and you'd see molten steel running down the channel mills, like you're in a foundry. Lava. It was like lava.
Well, the manual gets into thermite, and if it says if you have melted steel or concrete, which we had on 9/11, we should test for it.
It's this fused element of steel, molten steel and concrete and all of these things all fused by the heat into one single element.
We're asking for an investigation that follows national standards. There's no excuse to not test for this. If terrorists use explosives in 93, why didn't we test for them? If all these witnesses heard explosions, why aren't we testing for them?
NIST concedes that they found no evidence for explosives. So then we asked them, well, did you look? And they said, no, we did not look for explosives or residues of explosives.
So the preconceived notion of NIST is that there's no evidence for explosives, and so there's no point in looking. That is the most unscientific thing that evidence.
The Freedom of Information Act request to NIST was denied with the claim that releasing this data might jeopardize public safety. How could it possibly jeopardize public safety?
The destruction of evidence was a criminal act in itself. It was already being carted away and destroyed when the FEMA investigators got there about a month after September 11th.
You can't do science when you are deprived of the evidence and when your hypothesis is the least valid instead of the most likely. And the most likely hypothesis in the case of Building 7 wasn't even mentioned. This is not science.
The scientific forensic evidence, ignored by NIST, but carefully reviewed by teams of technical professionals, corroborates the hypothesis of explosive controlled demolition. We traveled to 21 foreign countries and 32 American cities, bringing this evidence to the attention of the public. And we're backed by 9/11 family members and other concerned citizens who are calling for an independent, unbiased investigation.
I'm a family member trying to find out the answers to the murder of 3,000 plus people. The bottom line is that it needs to be investigated properly.
Please look at architects and engineers. People all around the world, scientists all around the world are questioning this. And there's some deep, deep explaining to do.
It took some kind of consciousness raising on my part before I was willing to look at the possibilities. And really, you need to go where the evidence leads.
As an engineer, I have 3 degrees in engineering. I signed that petition for architects and engineers for 9/11 truth some time ago because the American people absolutely need the truth of 9/11.
This guy, he was a pilot in Vietnam, and he studied 3 PhDs. Pretty good. He's going into rot and stuff. He's pretty good. I like him. I've seen him lots of times in talks and stuff in videos. Yeah, I like him.
Look at the evidence. In fact, I'll say this very categorically. Any reasonable person who looks at the evidence that's been brought forward has got to come away with the feeling that something has to be done, a real investigation has to be put forward.
We will never heal. This country will never, ever, ever forget that day. We have to demand a new investigation. I want justice here. The country owns this. We were all victims. You all should want answers. It's not just ours, not just mine. We all lost something that day.
It's distressing for everyone to come to terms with this evidence, but we must pursue the truth wherever it leads. Look at the evidence and decide for yourself.
Now, this guy, this creator, Big 6 is, you haven't really looked. I mean, creator. They never. I haven't. I've looked lots of times. The thing is, I look, but it takes me forever. to find something wrong. It takes forever. When I used to do it, it take no problem, but now it's a big problem. So I haven't found anything that really, that building six is pretty good. I mean, I liked it. There was implosion. The thing of Nimble termite sounds good to me.
Well, it has to be something like that.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
Yeah, and as far as the calls, well, I'll let you look around if you want to. But Mending 6, I try to, because see one thing, I'm starting to I can read with let's see. Okay.
Architects and engineers, solving the mystery of Building 7 with Ed Asner.
That's how I can do it. Take this thing. It took about a year before I can't. This. What?
Where she reads to you.
Right. This will make a big difference.
Oh yeah.
Because what if stroke or face that I couldn't read. I mean, I could read so slow, and then I wasn't sure what I read, and it just made it difficult.
Right.
And now I got this, and so I got a few things like this. Text reading. I mean, text. What audio. Yeah. So then I can. That's good. That's good. I will find out. And I haven't Building 6, Building 5, Building 4. I can't find out, but now I can do some more. Find out, because the Building 6. The balls are 20 sort down to 10, okay, and then there's all this thing, all craters. What is that? And I haven't I haven't done not done I've done a lot of things, but I don't know what it is. What it is. So it's just also interesting.
Well, you'd think you'd be able to find something about it, because if when you do a search on that, something should come up, and probably 50 different things about it.
Well, okay. So far, I haven't found nothing.
Have you looked in Wikipedia? Do they have anything about it?
No, Wikipedia was down about anything with the. Yeah, it's. You're the first one. It's May 2016, and you're awakening.
Well, I never heard of all of this. All I've ever heard was just the two towers, and none of the other stuff. So.
Okay. You want to do? I'll give you some more. If you want to. Oh, okay. Well, what time is it?
It's 12 o'clock.
Oh. Well, okay. I want to do a few things at 12 o'clock. Okay. See. Excuse me.